Tanine can greet.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Wake up, everybody. This is day 600. Welcome to the Wake Up Everybody community. I'm excited and privileged to be here before you. I'm excited about just sharing a community. I would like to acknowledge our Facebook family who is live with us right now. How's everybody doing this morning?
Great morning, everyone.
Grand Rising, Grand Rising. Who do we have in space this morning?
Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing this morning?
Good morning, Adam. Good morning. Good morning, Dawn and Marilyn. I see Z in the space. Good morning, good morning. Jacqueline. Good morning again to our Facebook family. I'm so excited to be here before you. Hi, Joy and Gina, Althea. Hi, Lawrence. Good morning, good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
I hope everyone is ready for this vibrant and vigorous word this morning. It's a new morning. It's a new day. Another opportunity to do it again. Oh, I'm loving it. Right. Teresa's coming in. Good morning, Teresa.
Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together, together.
Unmute yourself, Tanine.
Good morning. Good morning. Wake up, everybody, community. My name is Tanine Harmony, and I am here to serve you this morning with our topic, Anchored by Alignment. Before we get started, I would like to know who's celebrating anything this morning. Just put any celebrations you have going on in the chat. I would like to check in with you. Celebration is a spiritual practice that helps our brain to feel pleasure and just to make us feel good in the morning. So what better way than to celebrate? This morning, I am celebrating, my grandmother turned 94 last month, which was May 28th. I'm also celebrating my grandson, Amir. He's graduating from the 8th grade. Let's see what people are celebrating this morning. I'm celebrating 10 years at the Harmony Network. And as people are putting their celebrations in the chat, I would like to acknowledge and take a moment to say thank you and celebrate and highlight Shawnee for her tenacity, for her commitment. She started this Wake Up community. It was supposed to be for 30 days, if I'm correct. And we are on day 600. She continued to move forward with this community, and lives are being changed and transformed. I want to celebrate the Wake Up Everybody community who keeps this running. This is so awesome. So if you can send some love to Shawnee and the Wake Up community in the chat, send that energy right now. Also, the Wake Up community is celebrating 20 years this year. 20 years. That is major. That is major. So Shawnee, we love you. We appreciate you and we thank you so much for your service. I would like to take this time to set the tone and pray before we get started. I would like to actually make a parenthetical insertion to say that this is an inclusive community. And inclusivity means that we join together and embrace all spirituality, religions, all beliefs. So I would like to just come before you in prayer. Lord God, we thank you this morning for your love, for your mercy, your grace. We thank you for another day. Thank you for breathing your breath of life into our bodies this morning. I ask that you would send a timely word this morning to the people that are hearing you. May it stir their hearts, their minds, their spirits, and their emotions. I also pray that all may go well with them, even as their soul prospers. It is my hope that you will hear something that stirs your soul and lights a fire as you continue to strive to be yourself. My name is Tanine Maddie Harmony, and I'm a coach, a speaker, and a writer. But aside from the titles, I'm a storyteller. I tell my own stories. I tell the stories of others so we can make connections, so we can learn how to grow together and get to the place that matters most to us. So that's what I really do in service. I'm here today to present a topic before you that I think is important. The topic this morning is anchored by alignment. And I would like to share some of my anchors with you this morning. John Carl is here to support me, show him some love. John Carl, can we go to the slide?
Peace and blessings, family.
Peace and blessings. Let's go to our next slide. Thank you. Yes, this is my family. This is my family, my friends. I want to actually highlight 6 generations. I'm not sure if you can see my arrow moving around. This is my great-grandmother, Maddie, who I am named after. And this is my grandmother, Luella, her daughter, I'm sorry. This is my mother in the yellow. And then this is me over here. This is my oldest daughter, Ajale, and my granddaughter. And I wanted to share this with you because just the other day, I realized that there were 6 generations and not 5 generations. I kept thinking there were 5. So I wanted to share my family with you to give you a real example of how we're anchored. And although there are no perfect families by far, we get our lessons, we learn culture through them, we learn how to socialize and connect. And we also learn through our journeys and through pain, how to create the life that we see for ourselves when we become adults. I want to point out my stepdad, Curtis, right here on the top. He is the person that I know who has Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can hear you now.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was going over my pictures, 6 generations of my family. My great-grandmother, Maddie, my grandmother, Luella, my mother, Marcia, my oldest daughter, Ajale, myself, and my granddaughter. So I was mentioning how blessed I am to have 6 generations. And as I share my family with you, I would ask that you would think about your families, the cultures, the socialization, the things that you learned over the years, some of the pain and lessons that you've gone through to help you get to where you're at today. We don't have any perfect families, but we do have family. John, can you go to the next slide, please? Thank you. These are some of my other family members. These are my friends. My friends have become my sisters and my anchors. These are my grandchildren. And I have a new puppy. So these are the things that keep me anchored and help me to make the best decisions that I can each and every day. I highlighted this section here with my daughter and I because as a mother having her first child, I was in a place where I wasn't aligned with myself. And I needed my daughter. I needed her because I didn't have the self-esteem that I needed as a young girl. So I put together this slide just with her and I because she was such a defining moment in my life. Thank you for allowing me to share my family with you. And I hope that this has brought some groundedness and just something special to your heart. John Paul, can we go to the next slide? Thank you. I would like to quote Dr. Maya Angelou in her poem, Our Grandmothers. She said, I go forth alone and I stand as 10,000. So I offer that to you, sharing in this community with our families, everyone that's here on Zoom and Facebook Live. And I would like to start by asking, why is alignment important? When we are aligned with our personal values, we begin to trust ourselves more. We honor and we own our decisions. And as a result, our self-respect and self-esteem increases. The more we practice being in alignment, the more anchored we become. And I want to share these definitions with you just to give you a framework of what that means before we go into our discussion. To be in alignment, we must operate in a position of agreement or alliance. Alignment is demonstrated when we believe and what we practice are identical. To be anchored, you are firm in your position, you have a secure foundation, and anchoring is a process. It's sustained through what we practice. Alignment also precedes anchoring. We must be in agreement before we secure our foundation. And then there are three main components: agreements, beliefs, and practices. What does all that mean, and how is that connected to your life, to our lives? What that means in essence is that what we believe and how we show up in life and what we practice are identical. And to be anchored, that is the practice. The way we can get anchored is when we practice being in alignment. That means what we say and what we do are in harmony. So we have to be aligned first in order to be anchored. And when you are aligned and you are anchored, you have the self-respect, you have the peace, you trust yourself. Usually when we think of trust, we think of trusting other people, but this is an internal work. We're talking about trusting ourselves. When we trust ourselves, we make the best decisions necessary for each situation, and we make them faster. And that feels good. That feels good. I would like to know if there's any feedback in the chat. Would anyone like to share anything about anything that spoke to them so far?
All righty. It would be good to bring some other voices in. I think folks have been pretty much listening along, sharing what you asked earlier about celebration. So let's see about this whole concept of alignment. Who would like to share your thoughts about that? and if we could put the slide back up, because multiple things were shared. So John Carl, if you could add the slide for just a sec, to see what's there. And I see some folks have unmuted. I'm not sure if that means you want to share. Is Deborah, and I'm not sure how to pronounce the second name, so I don't want to butcher it. All right, they ran from us, Tanine. They muted back.
Would anyone like to raise their virtual hands?
Yeah, there's Rachel.
Morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Yeah, can you hear me? Because I'm just getting
Yes.
my car. Okay, blessings. Good morning, everybody. What I've learned about alignment for me is that there's always a full circle. And like once you get to that full circle, and when I've learned my lessons, it's then my responsibility to decide differently. And that's why the answers come quicker, because you already been here before. So you already know, like I already know the answer to that full circle. I don't know if that makes sense. So I always feel like it always comes full circle, and you're actually in the same space with the same decisions that you had to make before, but you'd made different.
Thank you, Rachel, for your share. So I'm hearing you're talking about the cycles of life. How do we get through the process, the cycles of life? How do you get from point, I made this decision before, and now I know because I had a lesson involved in it. And now I know not to do that again or to continue doing it. How do you get there? What needs to happen in order to get there?
For me personally, connection, right? Connection with myself first, with my higher power, of course, and just living, and this is for me personally, living with integrity and dignity, and being aligned with who I say I am, right? So I think that's what really helps me. I show up how I am, and so there's no question about my decision, because I'm totally aligned with who I am showing.
You're frozen a little bit. Okay, there she is.
Yeah, what I said was, prior to today, I never showed up with those things. So now that I am showing up as the person I used to preach I was, things are working out better in my favor.
Amen. How did you get there? How did you get to the place where you started showing up? There was something that you needed to do. It's something very subtle.
Yeah, no, it's not subtle. This is very heavy, right, for me. There was a lot of forced consequence, right? There was a lot of forced consequence in my life. And there was also a mental breakdown that put me to a place where it's like, I have to change the way I'm doing things. This autopilot isn't working. Not healing isn't working. Living survival mode isn't working. And I'm still practicing that on a daily basis. This is a daily, and I wouldn't say a daily struggle, but it's a lifestyle change.
Yes.
Where I have to wake up and move a different way that I've done in the past. So if something triggers me to feel like my emotions is getting the best of me, my natural instinct would be lay in bed, not get up, and not handle my business. And now the Rachel that I am today is like, nah, get up and handle your stuff.
Yes.
Be aware of the emotion you're feeling, embrace it, cry it out if you have to. Pray about it if you have to, but you have to keep moving. Do not lay in that bed and let it defeat you. So yes. those are kinds of like going against what my natural instinct would be. Where it's now becoming, my natural instinct is actually now fighting it naturally the way I'm doing it, because it's a lifestyle change for me for now, I want to say 5 years. So it was very hard in the beginning, extremely.
You are awesome and amazing, and I appreciate your share, bringing the energy into the space. What I believe that I heard you say is that you had a breakdown. There was a moment of pause, of stillness, of dormancy, and like the cycles of life, there's activity and there's dormancy. There's ebb and there's flow. So what I wanted from you, you gave me. You know what you gave to the audience today? the definitions I just erased, you had to stop. You had to pause in order for you to go deeper, in order for you to reflect what is going on. And as I said in the definitions, our beliefs and our practices have to match. They have to be identical. So we can believe that we are valuable. We can believe that we are healthy. We can believe that we can be wealthy. But do we practice the things that get us to the wealth, to the health, and to the relationships that we want? And in this, I want to highlight there are 3 things of human concern, core, right? There are a lot of things, but in our human nature, we are concerned about 3 things. That is our wealth, our health, and our relationships. And today, this moment and this topic is about our relationship with ourselves. Thank you so much, Rachel, for sharing. Thank you for the community that are commenting in the chat. And thank you for just this rawness I feel this morning about what alignment is and how the cycles of life happen when we're not in alignment. I have a story to share with you about a time where I was not in alignment with myself. I'm going to read one of my personal journals that I stumbled upon the other day. I wrote it April 27th, 2019 at 8:17 a.m. And I'm reading from my handwriting. I should have had different conversations, but I did not have the tools, the language, the confidence, the strength, the wisdom. I had the knowledge, I had the information, I knew the truth, but I didn't know how to put myself first. I didn't want to lose, even though I was losing by cheating myself. I cheated him too, by participating in the lie. He didn't cheat alone. I was his co-conspirator. I said yes. I gave my consent when I chose to remain silent. I thought I did it for him because I loved him that much. He was the love of my life. But I did it for me. I stayed because I was afraid. I stayed because I had a false sense of control and pride. Sitting here reflecting about my past, and I want to highlight that line before I continue. Sitting here reflecting about my past. It is the art of reflection that helps us to get into alignment. So just hide that. Why I remained in a relationship long over its due with a man who did not have mastery over himself. I settled for less than my best because I had a fragmented fairy tale imprinted on my mind. I kept holding on to hopeless hope. Yes, I am a hopeless romantic. I will hold on to hope forever. But the cycles of life and the things that happen in them has taught me when things end and when I begin. In closing, I dishonored myself so many times. Whew. I dishonored myself so many times. It makes me cry just the mere thought of it. Thank you for listening to my personal journal. You know, when you journal, that becomes your baby. Like, you don't just share that openly. So thank you for holding space for me as I shared something so personal. I thought it was appropriate for today. And I want you to recall, as we continue on, a time when you made a decision that went against what you value and what you know to be fundamentally true. Just reflect on that for 30 seconds. something in your life now or even in the past. I see Teresa has a hand up. Please unmute your mic to share.
I want to say welcome to me. You look so beautiful.
Thank you.
Inspired me to kick my my glow up, with my hair and all that kind of stuff. So thank you. What I want to say is that based on some of the stuff that you were saying is that when I'm being my authentic self, I'm saying no a lot to stuff that I would normally say yes to. And I'm standing up for myself, and I'm also speaking up about how I feel about something. And because before I was so into people that I would not, like if I was uncomfortable, like if you was bothering me and my need to be with you was so important that I lost myself in a lot of people. And so now, with me regrouping in the last couple of years, every day I'm still growing. I'm still saying no to stuff. And some days it's challenging because, I'm scared, but then I feel like something has risen up in me that, hey girl, you gotta stand up for yourself. So I just be scared and just stand up for myself. And after I do it, I feel so refreshing. And so and just like even with my business, I realized, I gotten distracted, but I was speaking to someone yesterday and they just told me to write down why I want to do it, why I want to do the business. And when I wrote it down, I had a lot of stuff that I wanted to do. So in order for that to happen, I have to do it. So, I can't, just sit back and not do it. And so yesterday I was supposed to go live, but I didn't go live to sell my jewelry. I ended up going live on Instagram. So I did accomplish going live. So I was laughing about that. But I just want to, just keep on telling anyone to just keep on showing up for yourself and being your authentic self, because it is so free when you do that. It just helps you, your life and the things that you're supposed to be doing and that you're supposed to be sharing to the world. It happens, and I'm complete.
Thank you, Teresa. I have one quick question for you. Thank you for your share. Thank you for using the word refreshing. It exploded inside of me when you said that. When you say no, and you highlighted something that's very important, you said you talk to yourself. You didn't say that to us, but in your share, you mentioned and you demonstrated that you talk to yourself. And that's important for us to be able to talk to ourselves. Aside from God, the most important conversation that you ever have in your life is the conversation in between your ears. So Teresa, I asked you, when you say no to things that need your no, tell me how that feels. Go into the emotion of it. How does it feel? Because when you say no, you're honoring yourself. Tell me how that feels.
Well, at first it feels scary.
Okay.
It's very uncomfortable. But then once I say it and I really mean it, and I really like stick with it, I'd be like, damn girl, you did that. Like, wow, I can't believe you did that. I'll be saying something like that. Wow, you did that, and like, even if I'm having like uncomfortable, but it is so freeing because I've been saying yes to so much stuff. Even with myself, I've been saying yes to stuff, like not even handling myself properly. I've been saying yes to things that that that's not healthy for me at that particular time. And just observing so much stuff about myself that I said yes. I was very angry at first about not saying yes. So I really beat myself up, and I gotta watch that I don't beat myself up, like, oh, I should have did this years ago. And I gotta say, I gotta stop that BS, like, don't do that to yourself, Teresa. So that's the kind of stuff that I be, saying to myself when, like, and some days I get emotional. I just start crying because I said yes. I said no, when I normally would say yes. So I started crying because I've been celebrating myself a lot. So that's one thing I've been doing. It's like saying yes, like that,
Yes,
And
yes. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for that share. You said it. You said it. That's the process. That's the process of alignment. That's the cycles that Rachel spoke about earlier. You talked about the emotion of it. And it's important to know that when we let go of one way of thinking or one way of being, there's a process of mourning. We're letting go of something, a pattern, maybe a pathology, something that we've been doing over and over and over again, maybe on an unconscious level. So when you said you feel scared and you feel free of fear, even though you know your no is correct, that is a raw emotion. And I want us to acknowledge and embrace that we experience those emotions every day. But in order to be anchored, in order to be aligned, and in order to honor yourself, you got to push past that fear. You got to push past being scared and say, you know what? I know this is the right choice. I know I needed to leave this relationship, even though I wanted to hold on to it, but I had to go. It was time to go. I know that my body needs rest in the area of health. I know that I need to take my vitamins and my medication, and I know I need to go walk in nature. These are examples of alignment. And when we go do those things, and not perfect, but when we're conscious of it and we do it consistently, we are in alignment. And the more we practice being in alignment, again, because alignment means agreement. We are in agreement with ourselves. And anchored means that we're stable. We have a sure foundation because we practice being in alignment. So I say this to all of you today: continue on your journey, continue to reflect on what alignment and being anchored means to you, and continue being true to yourself. Thank you for your share. Before we go to the next slide, John Paul, I would like to know, is there any comments from Facebook or anything coming in from Facebook family?
Charmaine, you're a Facebook admin. What is it like in the Facebook land?
All right, Facebook is taking it all in. I have one sister that says from Barbara, she's referring to what Sister Teresa was saying. Saying no is a full sentence. Oh my gosh, stuff is moving around. All right, saying no is a full sentence. Keep showing up for yourself.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
I received that. Any comments in the chat?
Yes, in the Zoom chat, there's a lot of support here. A lot of gratitude for your shares.
Megabit internet. Add phone for $19.99 a month. No taxes, no fees, and no.
Anna, thank you. Yogisha came in this morning. She said, Queen Tanine is in the building.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
Adam shared a comment. He said, the mirror work is effective when it comes to being honest with myself.
Yes, honesty is a conduit to build trust. And how many of you know that telling the truth is very confrontational? And that's why we go through those changes. When we tell the truth, we have to confront some stuff. And that can be a little scary and messy. But when we know that it can be scary and messy, we can move toward it slowly. We can keep going forward toward it. We don't have to shy away from it because it's just going to build and explode. And I've learned over the years that I would rather prevent something that I can prevent instead of curing it. And I've had some things that I've had to cure. And because I'm getting older, I'm learning the value of what really matters, and sitting in the uncomfortability, sitting in the messiness, sitting still, sitting alone, and really evaluating my life. So I'll lead you into just this practice of really look at your life, take a look inside. Like take a step aside because you know that you can. I'm affirming in you. You know that you can actually have the life that you want. You know that deep down inside. take a moment, and really reflect on what's happening in my life right now. Where am I? Am I connected to myself? Am I connected to source? Am I really living out the things that I believe? Am I showing up for myself? What's really going on with me? Take some time every other day, once a month, whatever you can do, but make it a practice, make it your commitment to put yourself on your own calendar because it is super important. Before we go to our next slide, I would like to ask the audience, 2 people to raise their hands to actually read the next slide. So John, can we go to the next slide, the ABA principles?
Yes, we can.
All right, you have 2 volunteers. I don't know if it's Osea. Please share the pronunciation. We want to honor the pronunciation of your name.
Yes, Osea.
It is Osea?
Osea, yes.
Okay.
Grand Rising Queen, thank
Grand
you.
Rising. I'm on my way to work, so please, I hope the background noise is not too much.
It's perfect. Can you read 2 of these principles?
Absolutely. ABA principles, the distance between your current life and the life you aspire to is determined by what you do with your time. When you honor your agreements, you begin to rely on and firmly trust in yourself, especially when uncertain. And I say yes to all of those.
Thank you so much. Before we move on to our next participant who's going to read, I would like to take a moment to see if that resonated with anyone. Please use your emojis to put a heart, to clap your hands, to put a thumbs up. The distance between your current life and the life you aspire to is determined by what you do with your time. And when you honor your agreements, you begin to rely on and firmly trust in yourself, especially when uncertain. Teresa talked about being uncertain without using that specific word. But when we're uncertain and we go forward, we build that trust, we build agreements. And what we do with our time is so important. Do we have anyone else who would like to read the next 2?
Yes, Pam raised her hand, Dr. Kennedy Bruce. So if you could, you're unmuted. So if you could start reading, it's great. Thank you.
Great. The fastest way to build congruency in your life is to deliberately close the gap between what you believe and what you practice. Anchored in alignment, the words are coming up. Anchored in alignment is when you believe and what you practice are in constant agreement, excuse me.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for reading. These principles, out of the many that I wrote down, really resonated with me. So I wanted to share them with you. Time is a big deal. How we spend our time is such a big deal. And then uncertainty also, when we're feeling uncertain, do we go forward and honor our agreements? So I want you to reflect on that. And then this other one, the fastest way to build congruency in your life, which is agreement, is to deliberately close the gap between what you believe and what you practice. So we have our beliefs and we have our practices again. And this right here is an empowerment piece, an empowerment statement to let us know, right? That we do have the power to close that gap. Is what I believe and what I practice, I can close the gap so I can have peace, so I can live an authentic life. And I wanted to give you a working definition of anchored in alignment. It's when what you believe and what you practice are in constant agreement. And the operative word is constant. It is the practice. It is the practice of alignment that anchors us. Does that resonate with anyone?
Before you move on and folks declare how this lands for them, can you just verify what ABA is, because it's being talked about in the chat? So just confirm it. I'm sure you said it already, but the community isn't clear.
Okay, so ABA is an acronym. I love acronyms for Anchored by Alignment. It's just an acronym for Anchored by Alignment.
All right, awesome. So
Thank
the
you,
question
Sean.
again, oh, no problem. It was in the chat. The community was like, they were guessing. They were like, it means this and that. So this is perfect. So repeat the question that you asked. Oh, I see Atorius has their hand up. So please proceed, Atorius.
Yes.
Morning.
Good morning.
I love this conversation, especially in tandem to yesterday's conversation, because something that like helps me mitigate some of the imposter syndrome is like showing up every day as my weird poet self. I like I just had Achilles surgery, and as my friends and family have like stepped into my space for the first time, a lot of them either responded, oh, this is exactly what I thought it would be, or this is nothing at all that I thought you were. And I think that the congruency of like the pieces of my character that I cleave to were definitely affirmed when people who actually know me were in my space and was like, yes, this makes sense.
Nice.
Appreciate
Thank you.
this conversation.
Thank you so much for your share. That means so much. Thank you. I see Z had a comment in the chair that it resonated with her. It is my hope that throughout this conversation, you're reflecting on your life, the space that you're in, and you will take this information and make it your own. You will create your own definitions of what alignment means to you, keeping in mind that the cycles of life are going to happen with or without our permission, and that we do have the power to create what we see for ourselves, but we're going to have to take some risks. We're going to have to say some no's with a period and not a comma. And we're going to have to say some yeses. And some of those yeses could be really brand new to us when we're used to maybe denying ourselves or maybe putting the world before us, you know? So it's something to consider. And trust me, you will have built a reservoir of peace, of joy, something you can't explain. There's a joy that you cannot explain. And there's a peace that can never be stolen from you when you build yourself up in this way. And how many of you know the people who have peace in their life, who know that they have to protect their peace? How many of you know, by a show of hands, that peace is very expensive? If you know that, please just raise your virtual hand. Peace is very expensive. All right, I see Lawrence hands up. I see Tracy hands up.
Most definitely.
I see Adam shaking his head. Tawana, I see your hands up. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge my best friends and my sisters. We have Tawana in the building. We have Tirza. We have Stacy, my girl Kerry. We have Dawn. These are my anchors. These are my beloved friends that are here standing with me. I'm looking for my children because they're supposed to be on. But I just want to acknowledge everyone that's here. And I would like to find out from Charmaine, are there any comments on Facebook before we move forward?
Before we go to Facebook, I want to acknowledge that Adam is saying that he has a difference of opinion around peace being expensive. So we love when there is healthy debate.
Yes.
Or we don't require that in Wake Up that we all agree. So Adam, when you say you disagree, what do you mean? And then Charmaine, you can bring in the Facebook commentary after that. So Adam, are you willing to share?
Yeah, sure, Shawnee. I'm willing to share.
Thank you.
You got it. the reason why I said that I disagree that peace is expensive is because it boils down to your actions. I mean, as far as what are the big picture of the actions that you take. For instance, if you decide to, smoke a cigarette and whatnot, are you looking at the benefits and the repercussions, or are you just doing it in the moment because it feels good to you? So the point I'm trying to say is that every action that you make has a benefit in the repercussions behind it. Whereas peace, then you will look at what you need to do and look at the benefits of your actions versus just doing it in the moment. That's why I disagree with the statement that peace is expensive. I believe what's expensive is when you don't take care of yourself on a daily basis and when you don't do what you need to do. And I'm complete.
Thank you for that share. I would like to feed back to you what I believe that I heard, Adam. I really appreciate that. And I appreciate the male presence in this space. We love y'all. We need y'all to continue showing up in these conversations. I believe that I heard you say, because we have authority to make decisions, peace is not expensive because of that reason. Is that what I was hearing?
Exactly. It's all about who controls your mind.
And who controls our mind? That's a good statement.
And also, who are you supporting and what you're buying?
Say that last part again.
I said it all boils down to also who you supporting and what you're buying on a daily basis.
So our lifestyles, the choices that we're making. So
exactly.
Peace is not expensive because we have the opportunity to make choices.
Exactly.
Is that?
I also heard, this is Shawnee, that what's more expensive, what's more taxing, what's more challenging to negotiate is after you've bought things or engaged in things and behavior that doesn't serve you, trying to clean that up after is more expensive than actually claiming peace and living the best life you can possibly live. That's what I heard from Adam's share, but I don't know if that's on point.
Yeah, that's correct, Shawnee.
Thank you, Shawnee. Thank you, Adam, for that share. I see Joy put facts in the chat with 2 S's at the end. Thank you so much. As we continue, I would like to share with you the practices of being in alignment, what you can do to practice. So John Carl, I'm going to ask you to show the next slide.
Before we go to the slide, we are to the 8 o'clock hour.
Mm-hmm.
We can acknowledge the community. I'll post your information in the chat.
Okay, perfect. I would like to acknowledge everyone that is here, spending your time. Your time is your most precious possession. Thank you for spending it here with me today with the Wake Up Everybody community. I know that there's some people who need to log off for different reasons, but thank you again for your time. My contact information is in the chat if you would like to connect with me at any point about anything. So thank you again for just sharing your time. Thank you.
All right, you can proceed, Tanine. You were going to share some pieces for us to grow on.
Yes. The next slide. Let's talk about the practices. Next slide. Thank you. I wanted to highlight 7 alignment practices. I love the number 7 and the number 3. There are many practices. You can choose your own. Our lives are dynamic, so we get to choose what works for us. But I wanted to highlight some things that I actually do in my life. I make a decision, and I am conscious of my decisions. When I'm making a decision, I know my motives behind it, even if they're good or not, but I do know I'm conscious of it. So make a decision. When you make a decision, know that everything you need to support your decision starts to show up, just like obstacles starts to show up, right? Schedule. I'm big into schedules, not rigid schedules because it depends on your life, your personality, but having a schedule really sets a boundary and sets a tone for you to say, this is important. I am going to schedule time to reflect. I'm going to schedule time to rest, to take care of myself, because I need to know where I'm at. Put it on your schedule. I do have a schedule on my calendar where I do not work. I don't do anything. I take time off. And I'll just probably lay in the bed most of the day and just be still. But that works for me, so figure out what works for you. Strategize. Once you have it on your schedule and you made a decision, you need a strategy. And I want to acknowledge that a lot of times we're frustrated because we don't have a strategy. And strategies are just ways that we can resolve problems, conflict, or ways that we can get to where we want to be, ways to where we can close that gap in between our beliefs and our practices. And as we strategize and go through this process, we gain clarity. Now, a lot of you know, when we get clear about things, when we get really clear about things, I know John Carl, you know this. Clarity is the conduit to let us know what we don't want. And when you know what you don't want, it makes it really clear what you do want. So get clear about the things that matter to you. And then evaluate. I think about God when he created Earth in 7 days. He evaluated his work each day. And when he created us, he said he made man into his image and into his likeness. He said, this is very good. So evaluate the process that you're in. I heard a lot of evaluation in Rachel's share. She's been reflecting, she's been evaluating, Teresa also. So this is a part of the process to really just say, hey, what's going on? How am I doing? What do I need to adjust and manage, if anything? And then adjust, like I just spoke about, make the adjustments. It takes courage to make adjustments, to learn new things, but it is so important. And as you go along this journey, before you get to the celebration, you need support. You need support. The Woo community is support for me. My sisters that are here with me today are support. God is my support. Even my journaling, writing has saved my life in so many ways. I didn't end up on the news or end up wearing orange. And it is because of writing. I'm just being honest with you. So after you make the adjustments, celebrate. And John Carl knows about this. It is important to celebrate everything that you think is small that you are working on and working through and developing. Celebrate it. Smile inside yourself. Do something sweet for yourself. Affirm yourself. And all those little ways is so important to celebrate. John Carl, can you go to the next slide, please? And final slide. Thank you.
Tanine, you have a hand raised. Jacqueline's hand has been up for a minute. Are you okay with taking a question or comment?
Yes.
All right, awesome. Jacqueline, ready?
That was up from before. My mistake.
Okay, good to hear your voice.
Okay, yes.
Is it okay for me to share a comment?
Sure.
Okay. So I just wanted to say peace and love to everyone. And I want to give a huge shout out to the host, Tanine. I met Tanine a few months ago here at my workplace. I work in a high school. And at the time, I was completely out of alignment because I was in a new space that required me to display and also to develop these new habits, a new way of thinking that did not align with my true self. I felt at the time that spiritually, I was going through quite a bit in this new setting. And the way I saw others handle themselves was not in alignment with who I am. I wanted to take more of a soft approach. I didn't want to necessarily fight or find myself being like condescending or just manipulative because that's what I felt like the setting was pulling out of me at the time. And when I met Tanine, she opened up a new portal for me with life coaching. And the minute I started to acquire the tools and put the tools into practice, which was very spiritually aligned, you know, going back to the roots of what anchored me, which was God, because I lost touch with that part of me for a while. And I believe that a part of that was being in like higher education settings and learning all these new concepts and new ways of being and thinking that led me astray from my religion. And once I was able to come back into alignment through the word of God, I felt like everything started to fall into place. And it was quite scary because it happened so quickly. It was such a quick shift. But I'm saying this to say this: find a tool, find a support, find a community that is in alignment to what you grew up on. Because I feel like alignment is sometimes going back to exactly what you have learned all your life, through childhood and growing up. And once I figured that that's what I needed, just that basic something that was already in me. It's not that something that I had to completely learn all over again, but it was just something that I had to activate. And once I did, it was pure alchemy. And I just want to say I'm so thankful for her. I'm so thankful for your support, Harmony. I really am.
I love you. I love you. I love you. Girl, I'm loving that pink hair too. You know, when you say pure alchemy, that just does something to my soul. Thank you for your share. I so appreciate meeting you. And I want to share this about community. I don't know why I'm getting emotional. When I met Osea, she welcomed me into her office. I'm not new to that school, but she's new to the building. And I felt the presence of God there. I went and I told my kids that I met this nice lady, that I met somebody that could be a new friend. And there was something that bubbled up inside of me just from her sharing her office with me and welcoming me. And she offered me water. And I say that to say, because I come from another environment where it's not as welcoming. And she was the first face that I saw. And we connected. So I want to say thank you to you for being your authentic self and bringing God into the workplace, because he's inside of you, and trusting me with your personal stories. I so appreciate you. And thank you for coming on camera, girl.
Thank you. And I hope everyone has an amazing day.
Thank you. You too. Perfect. Okay, John Call, I am ready for the next slide. And thank you so much for your support, John. So no, go back, the benefits. Yeah, thank you so much. So the benefits of being anchored by alignment is trust. I put trust and peace in blue because they're like the bookends. When we trust ourselves, that just makes everything else fall into place. And trust is a process. It's a process of learning, unlearning, relearning. We build confidence. Teresa talked about how she felt when she continued to say no and to honor herself. She talked about the emotions attached to it that are comfortable, but she also talked about how she feels good about it. Confidence, clarity again, emotional wellness. That's a big one for me, emotional wellness. A big part of my life is emotional. I think we all are, but if I am not aligned emotionally, things start falling apart seriously. So emotional wellness is so important. And I think it's important for all of us. Authenticity, that's actually one of my goals this year, 2022, to be more authentic. So I've been doing a lot of work around just really being myself. And I learned that as I get a little older, I'm a little bolder because I'm older. And I appreciate that about myself. It feels good. And I hope that you're practicing that also. Wisdom. Wisdom is so important. Wisdom, in essence, is learning how to fly.
So probably trying to tell you something.
Yeah.
That's why I was trying to stop eating meat.
Hi. Wisdom is learning how to apply the knowledge that you receive. When you learn wisdom, you make different choices. You put yourself in different places. You have different type of company. because you understand how your choices are. And I believe that was coming through in Adam's share also about just having that authority to make the right choices, so um, your peace is not expensive. And then peace is really important. Peace is what peace means to you, but peace is like a resting place for me. I need a lot of peace in my life to do the things that I do throughout the day. I can be scattered, I can be in chaos, but I don't like to live in that place. I don't like to be in that condition. Um, so I want to share an illustration with you, going back to Rachel's share. And thanks again, John Paul, for the slide. This is the last slide. When Rachel shared, she talked about the moment where she had the breakdown and she had to pause. The breakdown caused her to pause. And I'm sure that we can all see ourselves in Rachel's story. So the bow and arrow illustration, I'm going to try to illustrate it. So when you're shooting a bow and arrow, there's a moment where you have to posture yourself, position yourself, and you have to focus. You have to get to a point where you're just seated and you're positioning yourself and you're focusing on your target, whatever the target is. You need to get your footings. And just like the cycle of life, when winter comes, there'll be spring, and after sunset, the sun will shine again. So the root of cycles, again, is activity and dormancy. To practice alignment, we must make the time to stop everything that's moving, like this position right here, right? To look inside our lives often, we need those still moments. We need a respite before we shoot our arrows. So think of the bow and the arrow whenever you need a moment to just be still. And in closing this morning, I would like to share Dr. Martin Luther King's quote. Oh, I see that, Miss Denise. Oh, praise God, you're here. Oh, I love you. Thank you so much. In closing, I would like to share Dr. Martin Luther King's quote. He said, "Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter." I'm going to repeat that. Our lives begin to end the day we become silent about things that matter. Do not allow your life to slip away without purpose and intention. Start today. Begin reflecting on your life and step by step, honor your agreements with yourself, build trust and self-respect, close the gap between your beliefs and your practices in order to be anchored by alignment. I would like to invite someone, anyone, to join me to add their space to the voice, to share an area of their lives that they would like to bring into alignment. Health, wealth, relationships. Is there anyone that would like to come on camera to share so we can go into this process of alignment, sort of like a coaching experience?
We have Jacqueline's hand up again. Jacqueline, is this real this time?
Yes, it's real, Shawnee. Good morning. Yeah, health is my health and yeah. That's where I'm at again. It's like full circle. I've been working on this health thing for years and I just fell off recently. And so now I am struggling to get back up on a horse.
Thank you, Jacqueline. I so appreciate you. Tell me your conversation around health.
Well, my blood sugar levels are concerned, so I do not claim diabetes, even though I've been diagnosed. And my practices had been to do things to lower that blood sugar level, but I noticed that my emotions and things that I have been dealing with lately have hijacked that pursuit, and so now I am struggling to be careful with my diet and everything all over again. And I spent months and months and months doing that, and I was doing really well and lost some weight, and the glucose levels went down and everything. But it seems like when I get close to the time when I have to go to the doctor to get measured, maybe about a month before, 3 weeks before, I start doing silly stuff. Just like eating stuff that I have no business eating late at night. And I don't know if it's stress related or it's just self sabotage. And it's something that I've been working on not to do. But for some reason, and I'm sitting here because I'm in a seminar for commitment, trying to figure out what is my hidden agenda here that's keeping me in this place, in this particular area. So
Thank you. I believe that I heard you say that you are working on being healthier. You were diagnosed with diabetes, but you're not claiming it, but you're conscious of it,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
And you mentioned things, the word things, and you also mentioned emotions. Let's give the things a name. Let's give the emotions a name. So, what things were you doing?
Okay. The the eating late at night, watching television is another thing because if I watch television, I find myself snacking. And something I had not been doing for a while. I am more involved with people in my life than I have been in the past, I'll say 5, 10 years, because I am reconnecting with family and friends, and that has been emotional. So I guess I'm an emotional eater. My daughter tells me that's what she is, and I'm like, well, maybe she got it from me. I don't know. I find myself doing that, and it seems to be cyclical. Usually, if I really think about it closely, it really happens around the holidays or right after the holidays. Yeah, I think it has a lot to do with me reconnecting with family and friends and just dealing with personalities, clashes, and my piece is to put something in my mouth so I'll be quiet. Otherwise, I'm going to say some stuff. So
Um,
I think
can I speak on something she just said?
Who is that speaking?
This is me, your old buddy.
Sure. Can you give me just a moment and then you can chime in? I'm sorry. Just hold your thought. So, Jacqueline,
Not a problem.
what I heard you say is that an event happened. So you've been introduced back into your origin, your family of origin, and you are definitely well aware that you may be an emotional eater. Welcome to the club, girl. And that you use food to keep yourself silent. And I want you to go deeper. We're here, our time is limited here, but I want you to go deeper into when those patterns started. When that little girl, she rises up inside of each and one of us, or that little boy rises up to get their needs met. And when our needs are not met, we do have these vices, we do have these practices. Overall, you want to be healthy.
yes.
You are on a journey of being healthy. We're going to affirm that. And you're going to go deeper into why. What is it that I need inside myself to get to the place where I want to be in health? And I like that you mentioned the process of starting and stopping and falling off. That is a cycle. You recognize a lot within yourself. So you're in a great place to actually just make some leadway because you spoke about your answers just now. You reflected on where you are. I hope you're in community with other people who are on your same journey that can support you and hold you accountable to yourself. And I hope that those emotions, because I wanted to speak a little bit about the exact emotion. Can you put your finger on how you feel when you're around your family or how you feel when it's time to go to the doctor? Because those are two things that are really important.
Okay, I know when I'm around my family, there's some frustration and anger, especially when I know people are not being honest, and that I have an issue with that. that's my issue. If you're not honest and it just does something to me. I can't deal with that. Um, and when it comes to the doctor, I want to be one step ahead of him. I want to be one step ahead of him. And I'm like, why am I struggling so hard just before? It's anxiety. And then also, it might be something going on in my personal relationship where I'm not feeling loved.
That
And
was good.
that's when the comfort food thing comes in. And I know.
Got it. So maybe do some work around when I'm not feeling love. That could be a title to a letter you write yourself. That could be a title to your journal. Even if you make some notes or you speak out into your phone, or maybe you draw. I'm very visual, or something that you can use as a tool to help draw out what that looks like and what that feels like when you're not feeling love, and then go back to the place when you first felt that way. You know, that'll dig up some things. It becomes there. I like that you mentioned the word frustration, because as I mentioned earlier, we get frustrated when we don't have strategies. So maybe do some work about strategizing. What can I do before I get in front of my family to buffer or to safeguard my emotions? How can I change my perspective? I know they may not be honest. Maybe they're dealing with their own things. Maybe they don't know how to confront what's really true for them. But how can I change my perspective about it and not allow me to be affected emotionally, where I start to dishonor myself and start to eat when I'm not supposed to, and then feel bad all over again? How can I do something for myself? And then also, how can I see a little bit deeper into my family, to have some compassion, to get to know them in this newness of the relationship? You're reconnecting, you're reconciling. But I think you can get to that place when you get to the place of anger, right? And usually I am a recovering angry person. And I own it. I really own it. Ooh, that's a dark place, but it taught me so much about life. And what I learned about anger is that it's really about the hurt.
Hmm.
When we're hurt, we become angry in some area. So maybe do some work around what hurt you, what was said to you, what was done to you, what wasn't fulfilled in you, what are your expectations now that the little girl has, that wasn't fulfilled. And you may not need to have a conversation with your family, but it's something for you to really go deep in and see what's there. You're going to discover so much.
Oh, I'm in the process of discovery, and I've definitely been working on that. I think a lot of it has to do with me being judgmental and critical too. So I look at the stuff, and I'm like, I get to the point where like I don't want to deal with that anymore. That's something that I've had to go through and work out myself. And then when I see it in other people, I become impatient, and
Mhm.
and it frustrates me. So I'm like, you have to work on your judgment and your critical way of being with people, especially people you are very close to, and that
Can
you
I
have.
reframe that? Can
Yes.
I reframe that for you before Lawrence comes back to the mic?
Okay.
Um,
Hey, how are you?
I would like to
Good
reframe
morning.
and feed back to you what I just heard. Just one second. Um, I have to work on being frustrated and critical within myself, with Jacqueline, because there's some areas in my life that I'm actually frustrated with, that I'm critical with within myself. And that's how I show up with the people. So I offer that to you today, Jacqueline, as a form of reflection, as you're on your journey of alignment.
I
And
got it. Thank
I
you.
thank you. I thank you. Would you like to share really quickly? I know we don't have a lot of time left, and Lawrence is going to share shortly.
You wanted me to share what I
Oh, if
just.
you have any questions before
Oh,
Lawrence shares?
you actually helped me to reframe that and to turn that around so that I can do this. And I appreciate that. So thank you. And
Thank you, Ashe.
I'm waiting for Lawrence's share.
So appreciate you. Okay, Lawrence, you have the floor. You're on mute.
Off mute.
There you
Oh, there we are. Hi, Jacqueline. Good morning, family. Jacqueline, my comment to you was I actually wanted to really just embrace your courage and thank you for sharing all the information that you shared about the journey that you're making this morning. I did want to say to you, in light of one thing that seems like I did not hear, in all the things that you're doing. I mean, I've never really listened to a person who had so many reality checks of what is wrong with the things that she's trying to correct. To have a checklist of such magnitude is absolutely wonderful. What I would say to you is just to embrace the courage to not worry about how the people around you are going to feel, about the decisions that you're going to make, about what's important to you, to not be afraid of embracing the negativity that's going to come from your courage that other people may not have for you to do what it is that you need to do to move forward. Don't be in fear of what your family's going to think about how you feel about the things that you find negative around you in terms of the lack of truth or understanding. To have the courage that you have to move forward in the manner that you're moving forward in is something most people do not embrace. And the fact that you're embracing it with such a strong passion, I'm quite sure you're going to reach all the goals that you're looking forward to. Just stay focused in identifying the fact that you, above all people, know exactly what your problems are. Because I've heard, listening to you, that you actually have identified almost every single negative aspect or first step of everything that you need to do to correct the problems that you're trying to correct. The eating habits, the late night snacks, the negativity that comes in from the individuals around you that make you feel uncomfortable when they lie to you or deceive you. The fact that knowing means everything allows you to prepare yourself better. Knowing the enemy within, knowing the enemy around makes a big difference in you saying, hey, I'm going to do this, this, and this in order to get to where I got to go. Do not be afraid to embrace that. Do not be afraid to worry about what other people are going to bring to the plate if you make a decision for yourself. That's the most important reality check that most people do not take time out to encounter. You have to embrace the lack of fear of just moving forward and not worrying about the consequences of other people's actions. Everything we do in life is cause and effect, but the most important cause is self-awareness, self-growth, self-interest, self-preservation. It has to start with you. And if you do that first, all those people who are really important in your life will follow. They will step into place and they will do what's necessary to help you get there. And if not, then you have to be comfortable with discarding the baggage that does not allow you to get to where you're trying to go.
Ooh, that was fire, Lawrence. Thank you so much for that share. I see Jacqueline nodding her head. Thank you so much for your presence in the space this morning. I would like to take.
He absolutely spit that out, and I knew that was coming, and I'm so grateful that he put it in the
Yes, perfect. I would like to take a moment to, someone is unmuted. I would like to take a moment to acknowledge my two daughters, China and Iman, who are in the space. I'm not sure if we have time, if they would like to say something.
Before we go there, you had another hand up, beloved.
Okay.
The background noise.
Anna?
Has her hand up.
Okay, please share. Thank you.
Good morning, all. I'm sorry. I'm just getting out the shower, so I'm not going to turn on my video. I don't want to share that much. But I like to say to the young lady, I am a fellow diabetic, and I agree with everything that gentleman just said, because it does take a lot to acknowledge everything and work through it, and that takes a lot of courage. But as a fellow diabetic, I just want to offer you this. As a community and our religions and spiritualities, we like to not claim things. But being that you are taking on and recognizing things, recognize the fact that you do have this disease, which is a very serious disease in our community. And with you recognizing it, because if you try to say you're not claiming it, it also adds to ignoring how you handle it. So I just want you to, you can also find like reframing, like Queen Tanine just said, learn how to reframe it. Like even though I can identify as a diabetic, I also say I will not let this disease control me. I'm going to control it so I can get rid of it. So that's what I wanted to offer to you this morning as
Yeah,
a fellow person healing.
thank
Thank
you.
you.
I just wanted to add to that that the reason I don't claim it is because I've gotten mixed reports from different endocrinologists. And the numbers that I have and the numbers that I have on a daily basis are not in diabetes. Not at all.
Okay.
So now my endocrinologist has recently said to me, "Oh, you're now pre-diabetic," whereas I was diabetic last year. I'm like, "Come on now." So I have been very much on top of my blood sugar levels, and I'm close to be. I am pre-diabetic. I'm always between 5'6" and 6'1", or 6'3", and then I hit 6'6" at one point, and it's probably because I did all that stuff I said. I ate, and I went in right after Thanksgiving and got my blood work done, and then it was 6, and he's like, "Oh, you got diabetes." I accepted the title because it allowed my insurance to let me get nutritional services under my insurance plan, which it wouldn't let me do before. But as a person who is very much aware of their body and what's going on with it, I don't claim it because once I sit back and I accept that, then that's when I start to behave in that way. And I see that with my mother, my sister, and the rest of them. They claim stuff, they take it on, and they become that. And that's where my anger and frustration comes from. I refuse. I refuse. And I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be disrespectful or anything like
No,
that.
not at all. I understand. It was just me. It was just an offering.
Thank you so much, but I thank you that for that because there are people who will be in denial. I'm definitely not in denial that I have blood sugar issues, or that I might become insulin resistant if I'm not careful. So but I just know that there are those little tiny things that I do sometimes that just takes me back to the 6.1 or the 6.3 when I should be down in the fives. And I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No problem.
I'm loving y'all. I'm loving this conversation. This is such an important topic. All of the voices that we heard in the space, just everyone who shared. Thank you for my sister Tawana. That is my sister, my anchor. That's my ace food crew. I thank you for your share and for your voice, and Jacqueline for your courage for sharing, and Lawrence. And I thank you for the Woo community. Where are we with time? We have a few moments left. Our time together. I'm wondering if there's anything on Facebook Live, anyone, any comments?
Hey, sis. I just want to jump in and say, hey, girl.
Hey. Oh, that's my girl. That's my boo. Hey, boo.
What's up, Woo community? I just want to say you're doing an amazing job. Thank you for blessing us with this beautiful message. Look how you got this community all in such good conversation. So I just want to say I love you and I love y'all all.
Thank
you, T, for what you're doing. Thank you for blessing us. All right.
Thank you so much. I receive it. I receive it. Anything in the chat, John Paul?
Great morning, family. This is Andrea Fisher. How are you doing?
Blessings, Andrea Fisher.
Good, good. I was getting ready. I'll just put my camera on because I'm actually walking down the street to go to my graduation.
Ooh,
So
congratulations.
yes, I'm going to graduate today with the Community Health Worker Program from Nassau Community College. So I'm on my way there.
You look
and
amazing.
I'll be reciting one of my Angelus poem that it's just been resonating with me for a couple of days now.
Oh, blessings to you, my sister. You look beautiful. You look
Well,
amazing.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm actually walking to the car, all right? So peace and blessings, everyone. Have a blessed day.
Congratulations.
Awesome conversation. I was listening while I was getting ready, but awesome conversation.
Thank you. Blessings to you, sis. Enjoy your day. We're just celebrating with you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And all those who were celebrating too, because I heard some shares in the beginning of the program. So pardon me with the background noise, I'm on the street. But yes, so all who celebrated birthdays, anniversaries, whatever is going on today, graduation, I celebrate with you too. Enough respect to stay back home, right?
Yes, enough respect, Andrea. That's right, sis.
Good. Take care. Good. Peace and blessings.
Oh, love it. Peace and blessings.
Good.
Beautiful share, beautiful session you've done here this morning. I feel the energy flowing in,
Thank you.
the everyone is feeling it. There's have another one.
I cut you off right then. So please, that's my daughter, because I cut him off right at the point that we were having the end of the program.
Okay. Just one of our community members got unmuted. But yes, there's a lot of support in the chat. It was happening very fast. As you're going through comments on highlighting some of the things you've said. We have to one who said older and bolder. I love that. There are a few more up here. A lot of comments like that. I would say save this chat so you can go back and review some of those comments here in the Zoom space, and you don't have to save it on Facebook. But I wanted to, with all the support you have here, I wanted you to get the support you're asking from your children. You asked if they wanted to speak. I would still wanted to have that opportunity. We have a couple more minutes, so
Yeah.
5 minutes before we wrap. Well, you can tell me how long you're going to need, because if you need another 5 or 10 minutes, we have that for you.
5 minutes is perfect. Thank you for circling back, John Call. No pressure, Iman and China, but I just love these girls. We live together. They help me take care of my puppy. They have become my anchors. They are 18 and 20, and they have a voice. We have conversations. So no pressure, but if you would like to unmute your mic and say something, you don't have to come on camera. But maybe share something you heard today that maybe resonated with you. Would either of you like to share?
Hi.
Hi, Princess.
What I would like to share is that what Lawrence said about, well, he said a lot, but it was really good what he said. About taking it all in and not letting it become who you are.
See, that resonated with you.
Yes.
Yes, thank you for sharing that, Iman. And you are going to process that, I know, and think about some areas in your life where you can apply that. Good for you. Good for you. And thank you for showing up for me today. You know how mommy is. Like, I love when my family and friends show up for me, you know. China, would you like to share anything? No pressure. No, China. Okay. All right. So we are complete here. John Call. If there's anything in the chat or anything to close us out, we're here.
We can actually go to, if there's no one else that wanted to share anything, we are at the closing. We can go to your special offer. See your book here, Walking in New Shoes. I'd like to bring that up.
All right. Walking in New Shoes. This is a collection of poetry, and it's rooted in resilience. It's rooted in truth and our human experience. I would like to give the opportunity for anyone in the audience who emails me first. You will receive a complimentary free copy of the book Walking in New Shoes. It will be signed and mailed to you. So the first person who emails me will get a copy of my book Walking in New Shoes. My email address is listed there, harmony@tanineharmony.com. And I also have a special offer for the Woo community. I have a signature master conversation aligning with what you really want. And it's at a discount price for the Woo community. It's listed there. And the offer price is good until Sunday, June 5th at 11:59 p.m. The link is right there. And you can click on it, and they are 2 dates so you can sign up. So in the chat is the link, And I will add my email address to the chat because someone just asked for the email, but it's also on the screen. Perfect. So my email address is in the chat also. Perfect. And this is my contact information: Facebook, Instagram, my email address if you would like to contact me. And also check out my website, check out what's on there, what people are saying, and just some of the services that I offer, just to keep these connections and conversations going. Thank you, thank you, thank you. This has been an awesome time together. The chat is blowing up. I'm sure there's some energy on Facebook. Kerry, thank you for your well wishes. Thank you for using the word poised. You know, I love to be poised. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you, John Paul.
All righty. Emily, for the 29 people who are still in this space, just want to acknowledge that in the Wake Up Everybody space, we are committed to reciprocity and co-creation. You all have contributed to the conversation, and it was led by, envisioned by, intuited by our sister Tanine. And so we want to give back what she has so graciously and powerfully given by sharing in the form of money. And in the Wake Up space, money represents my own natural, because it's natural for us to manifest abundance, my own natural energy yield. So we ask that you share your money in the form of your own natural energy yield with Tanine and the admin team this morning by sending love offerings to Soul Leadership Development at Gmail if you have Zelle or QuickPay, or sending love offerings to Cash App through $Spirit of a Woman using the code #600TH, which is Tanine Harmony. So to be in harmony with her and her energy, we ask that you give. Because so much is given in this space. And for those who are members, and we invite anybody that Tanine invited into the space, Lawrence and China, just, you know, the folks that are connected to her tribe, to join us and remain in the space before the regulars, the village that has been here, some of us 2.5 years, asking you if you haven't done so already to create a monthly offering so you don't have to worry about it. It's already automatically going out. And it just, you're giving on a regular basis to support this journey and this tribe of mind, body, spirit transformation agents, because we all are that. And for tomorrow, not tomorrow, Sunday, because Thursday is when we close out. We're off Friday and Saturday, and we come back strong on Sunday. So Sunday, June 5th, we have our beloved sister Gina Leto Geoff, who's going to be coming in and speaking about Sankofa Sojourns Presents, which is her business, her company, and then COVID, the COVID monologues. So let's please show up for that. We want to acknowledge that if you have come today for the first time, come on back. We're big on saying in this space, do not hit it and quit it. Do not create the space for you to come in for the person that you know that's facilitating, experience the energy and not come back. You are always welcome at our Woo door. So please come knocking on Sunday and the rest of the week and beyond so that you can enjoy and co-create with us. So here in the community, we are committed to learning and ascending and transforming. So join us on that journey. The schedule for the Woo community is Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday. Today is Thursday, so you experience us having a session from 7 to 8:30, a little longer. And then on Mondays and Wednesdays, we have a short appetizer from 7 to 7:30. We invite you to come through anytime you're available. Some people come every day. If you want to get alerts and automated text to remind you, just type in the number 74121 in your text. And when it comes up, put in Woo Nation in capitals and send it. And then you will be added to our automated texting app so that we can send out messages to remind you to join us. You can move forward. Swag. So what we wear this summer, what we carry this summer can be aligned with the Woo Nation so that everybody that encounters you knows that you are waking up every single day so that you can grow, transform, ascend. So we have bags, tote bags. We have a journal for you to write what you need to write. We have face masks. Can you go back, John Carl? I forget you. Water bottles, tea cups, coffee cups, laptop sleeves, t-shirts, and sweatshirts. So, support us, because anything that you purchase, a portion of it goes to the community and our continued evolution. So thank you. You can move forward. And we just want to thank everybody and once again, welcome you into the space if you're new and ask you to stay in touch. And we mean touch like energetically, as well as staying in touch by coming back, being in communication. So register for next week's sessions. You can get access to what we're going to be doing next week by clicking the link bit.ly/wake up movement. Join our Facebook page. You can screen share this, and it's dropped in the chat. So you utilize all of this information in the link so that you can stay aligned with this powerful community. And Wake Up family, and those who are new, with your family too, sorry about that. Please, please, please invite others to join in this space. Sometimes we can get caught up. It's like, I'm here, but please invite others to join us so that we can keep growing and transforming, especially young people and brothers, so that we can have a diverse and mixed energy and alignment for us all. So if you're interested in volunteering for Wake Up Everybody, please screenshot this and tap into the chat. We're looking for folks who can admin, like I'm doing, John is doing, and Charmaine this morning. We're looking for folks to create slides, folks to onboard facilitators, like Tanine was onboarded by a member of this community, all of that good stuff, people for the core team so that we can keep visioning, growing, transforming, and providing powerful information for us as an extended community, because we all need to wake up. So that is it, family. So let's do what we know how to do in this space for facilitators that share their love and their heart and their brilliance with us. Let's unmute, family, and share our love shower. This is how we love on people in the Wake Up Everybody space. So come on.
Thank
you, Tanine.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
You.
Well
For
done.
me,
Elegant.
all that you planned was
Very
great.
nice.
It was
Thank you.
excellent. Great
I loved it.
conversation, great
It was
slides.
amazing.
Move the process
What a
wonderful.
beautiful day to
I'm
start
really
the morning.
proud
A
of
beautiful
you.
way to start the day.
Thank you, Jackie, for sharing.
Thank you for
Teresa
inviting
and
me.
everybody for sharing.
killed the interview with
You're
Dan.
doing a great job.
Thank you, everyone. Y'all
Thank
rock.
you.
Your steps in your book.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Great job.
Let's move forward, everybody.
See y'all Sunday.